We've got Miss World contestant, that's Courtney Jongwe. She's going to be doing the most in India, and she's going to be representing the nation. Welcome to the show, Courtney.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
Fantastic. Now, you are in the Miss World competition. Now, I want you to maybe unpack to me, how prepared are you for this competition?
I think we are very prepared. I say we because I'm also working with a very strong team. So we are very prepared for
You're the output of the team.
Yes.
Yes, the face of everyone who is behind the scene.
Yes.
So you're the scene.
Yes.
Yes. So you're very prepared, and tell me more. Where is it happening? What are the dates? And yes.
All right, so departure is on the 6th, and then arrival and everything starts on the 7th. So the competition starts on the 7th all the way to the 31st. So we have the big, glamorous grand finale on the 31st. But all the way from the 7th to the 38th, we'll be in boot camp and just going through the other parts of the competition. Yes.
So the 7th, the competition is starting.
Yes.
The 31st, that's the grand finale.
Yes.
That's the day you will be crowned queen.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
So on the 31st, we may as well script our news that Courtney will, will have a procession ready to receive you at Robert Mugabe International Airport. I mean, I can already see.
Yes.
Now, tell me something. When preparing for this particular competition, what is it exactly that you do? What are the paces that you go through? What is it that you do?
All right, so we've got different facets of the competition. We've got head-to-head. This includes your project, your social project. So you need to prepare for that. How you go into communities. For instance, I went to hospitals, I went to schools, I went to universities, I went to youth centers, and that's how I prepared, actually doing the work for the project. So when you do the head-to-head, you're actually just repeating and saying, you're telling people what you've actually done and the impact you've made in your community. So that's how you prepare for head-to-head. And then there's the sports. I've been working on my fitness. I've been going to the gym and running around. I think we're somewhere, there, right? Because you've got the sports challenge. And we also have top model challenge. So with that, I've got a coach, modeling coach that I work with, and he's been working with me to work on my strides, to work on my poses, and to work on my turns, right? And we also have, what's the other challenge? I think these are the... Yeah, I think these are the most.
These are the
yes.
So you're evaluated on your physical fitness as well.
Yes.
Or is it?
Yes.
Well, I thought it was just dress well, look good, smile well, speak well,
there's a lot more.
Maybe unpack to us. Tell us, because I'm sure there are more who are watching you on TV. I'm sure there are more who are watching you on TV. Maybe tell them exactly, what is it that will be expected of you, such that, or rather, the basis of evaluation, the basis of the criteria that they're going to use, such that they're now going to say, you know what? I think of all the whatever number of contestants that will be there in India, Courtney is our queen. What is it?
Okay, so Miss World as a whole is a women empowerment platform. So they focus on empowering women, but they want a holistic woman, a woman with purpose. So you need to focus on your purpose. This is a social project. How are you giving back to the community? That's the first part. And then the second part, you also need to be a person who is physically fit. For you to accurately and precisely carry out your duties, you need to be fit. So that fitness also comes through. And for you to be well received in community, you also need to dress well and look well. So your poise, your the way you communicate, the way you dress, all that matters. So you need to be as prepared as possible in that regard to make sure that you are a holistic individual. So those are the things that they're looking at.
All right. You're the only Zimbabwean who's going to be going to represent the nation. Is that correct? Fantastic. Now, you talk about contribution and giving back to the community.
Yes.
Now, are there any campaigns that you've done thus far?
Yes.
In as far as that is concerned, maybe going to communities, different parts of the country. I mean, Zimbabwe is such a beautiful, diversified nation. Is there anything that you've done as far as that is concerned?
Yes. So for me to make sure that I can measure my impact, I decided to focus on a topic that is close to my heart, which is mental health. I'm currently studying chemical and processing engineering at Manikal State University of Applied Sciences. So being a fifth-year student, I've worked with students. I've been in an environment with the youth, and I've seen a lot happening. I've seen people taking drugs. I've noticed people, just saying this person is defied. They've left school because their mental mental state was not exactly where it should have been. And issues like these are so close to me because you notice them often, right? And I'm also a peer educator. So as a peer educator, you actually work with our health organizations and you notice these things even more because we go into communities and, we try and help out. So as I noticed all these things, it really just warmed my heart to that topic. And I'm like, you know what, there's something that I can do. So I started doing awareness campaigns at school. I started doing a podcast. I've got a podcast on mental health. I also did school visits. I did campaigns online. I also did, I visited schools and hospitals. I've been everywhere, really, just talking about mental health. Why? Because I believe that as an African community, we don't really talk about it that much. You understand? We've got a bit of stigma around it because there's something that is new to us.
It's relegated to the bottom drawer.
Exactly. So I've been trying to open up conversations. Why? Because we are seeing the effects. We are noticing people taking drugs. Drug and substance abuse is a topic that is being repeated over and over again because it's something that is real. But what is the root cause? So you realize students are dropping out of school. What is the root cause? So the root cause is our mental state. So if we can fix our mental state, if we can look for ways that we can support those that are going through challenges, and we can help those that haven't to divert, because you realize that in spaces like such as schools, students have so many problems, financial problems, academic stress, a lot of things. And not even schools, because I also go to youth centers because I don't want to just limit my impact to those that are universities or schools. I also go to youth centers. These are spaces that are open to any youth. And you realize they've got other problems as well. So if we start talking about it, if we start giving them help, giving them solutions that are impactful, solutions that are actually very practical. Because you realize that sometimes all a person needs is somebody to talk to. Right? So when it comes to that, I also support service provision. I don't give services myself because I'm not yet there. I would love for my project to then, upscale to that point. But for now, because I cannot give services, I partner with organizations that can. So I partner with psychologists and I work as a referee. So I tell them to say, you know what, if you need help, you can go to this place. And I've got a platform online that also gives people advice on where to go if they need help. So I've partnered with a number of organizations that are supporting me. They've got the psychologists, they've got the counselors, and those people are the ones that work. And me as a person, I also have a few people that are trained as peer counselors because I'm a trained peer educator. So I work with trained peer educators and peer counselors. That way we can disseminate information as well as just offer support to the people that are in the community and area around us.
Fantastic, lovely, recommended. Wow. I'm short of words. You're doing a phenomenal job. So here's the thing. You said to me that you're a chemical engineer. Is that correct?
Yes.
You may think I'm joking, but I think you're the second model that I've interviewed who has done chemical engineering.
Oh.
So I don't know. Maybe from that perspective, you're a chemical engineer.
Yes.
And now you're into modeling.
Yes.
And you're doing so well in it.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
now you're going into India to represent not only yourself but the nation. Tell me, where did we transition from being a chemical engineer to the model? What happened in that transition? Maybe if you can tell me just a bit about that.
All right. So I think for me, it was being in an academic institution opened up doors for me to try out new things. So the first thing I did was trying out Enactus. It's an international club that we had at school, and just doing Enactus projects really opened up my eyes towards the impact that a person can have in their community. So I just started generally serving. This is part one. And then around part 1, 2, thereabout, I also joined peer education. And I got trained and started seeing how much impact I can even make, further impact. And it just sort of stirred some passion in my heart to just sort of give back to the community. And you realize that with modeling, it ties everything together. It puts fashion, it puts, it puts giving back to the community, it puts who you are as an individual, everything, it puts everything together. So when I saw that opportunity, I was like, you know what, I could really try this. I could really just look for a way for me to stand. I've been working with teams. I could just try to do something by myself and also incorporate all the knowledge that I've accumulated over the years and see how far that can take me. And you realize that the public speaking skills I have now, I gained them from Enactus. The health training that I got them from peer education, and everything is coming together. So as a chemical engineer now, the class things that you learn, the things that you learn in class, like we learn to optimize systems. You then take that optimization and you put it to the things that you're doing. So now you're a cut above the rest because you've got that extra touch.
Yeah.
You've got the experience, but you also have that, optimization skill. So
Yeah.
you get there and you realize, okay, there's a problem. And then you fix it. Not only fix it, but you fix it in a way that you optimize it to make sure that it's serving as much as it should.
Right.
So that's how everything ties up.
A cut above the rest, you say, and a cut above the rest, I concur that you are. And I was about to say, well done for bringing the crown back, because to me, it's already on you. But that said, what would be your parting words? Maybe you're facing the camera to Zimbabwe. What would you like to say to the nation?
All right. Hello, Zimbabwe. Makadi Venyumurie, Zimbabwe. Thank you so much to everybody who has been supporting me thus far. It's been an incredible journey to be your Miss Zimbabwe and Miss World Zimbabwe. I'm thrilled to be going to India to represent you, and I'm open to some more support. Those that are willing to support, please come through following. If you're a designer, you can come through boutiques. Everyone who feels they've got a part that they want for us to take to India, feel free to connect with my management, and let's do this. This is a Zimbabwean thing, and I'm definitely going to bring the crown back home to Zimbabwe where it belongs. Thank you so much for your support. Let's continue rallying behind Miss Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Right. So if whoever wins the crown is called what? The world champion?
Yes.
Is that it? Yes. So we have Courtney, the world champion from Zimbabwe. She's going to be participating in world championship contest in India, and that's going to be starting from the 7th of May and up until the 31st of May. You talked about people supporting you.
Yes.
How do they reach you? What are your socials?
All right, so they can reach out to us as an organization at Miss Zimbabwe on Instagram, or they can reach out to me at Courtney T. Jongwe. Yes, those
Courtney
are my handles
T. Jongwe.
on
So
Instagram.
is there any way of following the proceedings that will be happening in India on maybe on YouTube, or is there any way of following that?
Yes.
Or maybe you provide us with the links, and then we will share it to the rest of the nation, because I'm pretty sure the viewers would want to rally you from their homes and support you, and of course we'll support a noble and a worthy cause. This is Courtney, the world champion. And thank you so much for joining us, Courtney.
Thank you so
and
much for having me.
all the best in India.
Thank you.
We will not be flying together, but you'll be flying with all of us together in you, because we're rooting for you, and we believe that you're going to bring the crown back.